Hello everyone, welcome back to Plan B TV News. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on the interview of Professor Soyinka that have caused a lot of chaos on social media. Ever since the Arise TV News grants this interview, there have been a lot of misreactions on social media. Well, according to the Professor Soyinka, during the Arise TV interview condemned Obi Datti Ahmed, that of the Vice President of the Labour Party. According to his words, he said nearly the totality of Labour Party, Obi Datti Ahmed's statement was unbecoming, dictating to the Supreme Court. It is a fascistic language which annihilates the people. It is unacceptable and I refuse to be a part of it. Nobe, Nurant, Professor Soyinka said. Details in the video.
Which part or what part of Senator Datti Ahmed's statement was unbecoming?
Okay, nearly the totality. Listen, the interviewer asked him several times. He said, what will you do if the Supreme Court judgment is against you? If the interpretation which you are offering about the constitutional aspect of this election, if it is against that of the Supreme Court and they find against you. And he kept saying, no, it's not even open to analysis. The word says and it's very clear. And the Supreme Court, in its wisdom, had better give this, in other words, his interpretation. I mean, this is trying to dictate to the supreme arbiter of the nation. Whatever you think of the Supreme Court, it is an institution we all revert to sooner or later. If not today, then tomorrow. If not about this election, maybe about the next election. But Datti kept saying, no, the Supreme Court has got, in its wisdom, to agree with me. That is what is known as fascistic language. It is not acceptable. And for me, it alienates people. It alienates even supporters. I know this for a fact. People come to me, you know how I relate to young people. I relate to those who have found certain problems with the spokespeople of this particular movement. I'm not interested in the other ones. Everybody knows the other movements. But there's a new boy on the block, as the expression stays. And many of us have been waiting for that new kid on the block. And so we have a stake in it. And wherever it seems to be going wrong, we're going to tell the truth to that new kid. And the supporters who also say they have allied thinking with us, that's all. But go and watch that tape all over again. Introduce that tape to any kind of neutral jury, members of whom don't even know anything about the Nigerian situation. Talk about body language, talk about vocal language, talk about the actual text of Datti's pronouncement. This is intimidation, and it's not acceptable. I refuse to be part of that kind of language.
Recall that days before, Plan B TV team reported how the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) slammed a fine of 5 million naira on the channel televisions for breaking the broadcasting law in a program with Obi Datti Ahmed, the Labour Party vice presidential candidate. This is what Professor Soyinka is contending on and fully support of what the Broadcasting Commission did. We cannot have a president-elect when there is a constitutional breach in Nigeria. There is a clear interpretation of sections 134 that the INEC interpretations of section 134 said, I will hold onto those variables and I will deliver victories on this. Swearing in Tinubu is as good as swearing in a military regime, Yusuf Obi Datti Ahmed, Labour Party Vice President candidate, added. Details in the video.
The Electoral Act, which is mainly what the lawyers are doing at the tribunal, is a process document. The Constitution is a different document in its entirety. Nations exist because they have a constitution. A constitutional breach is a big issue. It's a make or break issue. We're not just talking about losing the election. We're not talking about a constitutional breach. Where you have a constitutional breach, there is no president-elect. I beg to say, by the standard meaning of Section 134, there is the clear interpretation of 134, and there is the INEC interpretation of 134. Now, I'm going to hold on to that. I'll stick to that, and I'll deliver victory on that. By that, I dare tell you, with all humility, we do not have a president-elect in Nigeria today. What Alhaji Tinubu is holding is a dud certificate, is a dud check. There are no funds in that account. It will bounce. You cannot swear in a president whose certificate of return assaults the Constitution, because the Constitution is the platform on which a presidency rests, and when that has been violated, it cannot sit. Mr. President, do not organize that handover. CJN, your lordship, do not swear in this man so long as that problem is not cured. Swearing in Alhaji Tinubu is as good as swearing in a military regime. They are both unconstitutional.
In total contempt of what the Baba Datti Ahmed said during the interview, according to Professor Soyinka, he said, "In all I want from the incoming president is decentralizations, a detailed decentralizations which more devolutions of power to the various style of government." The Nobel laureate, Professor Soyinka.
I'm talking about decentralization. That's all I want out of the incoming government, whichever it is. Let us have a genuine, not rhetorical, but a genuine, practical, detailed decentralization, the redevolution of powers, more devolution of powers to the various arms, the various tiers of government, state, local government, the reinforcement of civil entities, civil society in the various groupings. That is the kind of structure which I want. You can summarize it in that one word: decentralization. Yes.
Well, he didn't end there. Area father took to his social media handle to also react and said that the kind of respect I have for this man, Professor Soyinka, was almost the kind of respect I had for the late Justice C.A. Oputa, the Socrates of the Supreme Court. It has finally dawned on me that Soyinka can never be the man Chinua Achebe was. The Kogi is not ordinary. He should be measured anytime he makes a public statement. Look at a man Nigerian put on a such high pedestal, reducing himself to a boy for criminal politicians. What the hell, King Big Shame, he added. However, reacting to Professor Soyinka interview, Professor Uwankobia said that Soyinka interview left issues about ethnic profiling, killing and voters suppressions, and dwelt chiefly on Datti comments. Those who have struggled to brand the Labour Party as unruling are those who have threatened a particular ethnicity. Spokesperson of Obi Datti campaign organization, Professor Uwankobia, details in the video.
You know, there's something about the universe that's absolutely exciting and interesting. The first time we really had a debate on this, it was with you on air. I remember I used the word that the obedience are not unruly. They may be fierce, but not rude. And interestingly, we're back on it. Beautifully, let me say, that if in this contestation, the entire political process, if there is any movement that has been very civil, it's the obedient movement. And I'll tell you why. We have not deployed ethnicity or religion in our debate and contestation. those who tend to, or who are struggling effusively to brand us as unruly, are the ones who have threatened a particular ethnicity. They are the ones who do ethnic profiling. They are the ones who have divided and polarized our country. We are absolutely civil. And I tell you, when I saw that interview by my boy and mentor, and I say this with all sense of respect, I tell people that I may disagree with you on certain score, but it doesn't change what I feel about you. I listened to that interview by the great Nobel laureate, Professor Soyinka, and I wept for 3 reasons, and I'm going to put it out before Nigerians. My boy and mentor left issues about ethnic profiling, the killing of people and voter suppression in Lagos, and dwelt chiefly on Datti's comment about those who are interested in swearing a man whose mandate perhaps and the declaration of his election, his victory, does not tally with the provisions of our law as a problem. I felt very deeply offended. Then the second one, instead of talking about how those who were declared winners have not stopped the ethnic profiling, he called Datti and his statements a fascist. I felt very strange about it. Then I asked, is the man dead? Because he wrote a book long time ago, The Man Died in Him, Who Keeps Quiet in Times of Moral Crisis. I asked that question, and I'm asking that question again with all sense of humility. Let me tell you, in 2014, 2015, I was a DG Change Ambassadors of Nigeria, one of the campaign arms of President Muhammadu Buhari. In 2014, 2015, the APC, which is presently in power, said worse things than Datti has said. Indeed, my very senior colleague and the substantive Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today said that the APC was going to form a parallel government if the PDP were to be declared winners. Some others went as far as saying that it clearly not like that democracy will die should the PDP be declared winners. And I wonder why we have all forgotten all that. And clearly we have the worst electoral larceny in our country's history. Clearly we have the worst electoral fraud in our country's history. Do you know what happened on the 25th of February and what happened on the 18th of March? Beatified Iwu's 2007 elections. That was an election that Yar'Adua openly admitted that was largely flawed. But that election comes to excellence when you juxtapose it with what happened on the February 25th and March the 18th. So why won't you beat a child and you refuse us the right to cry? You have asked us to go to court and we have gone to court and you're uneasy. What do they want?
All right, guys, this is what I'm going to be heading the video today. Do you enjoy this particular video? If you do, please do not skip without you commenting your thoughts in the comment sections and give these videos a thumbs up. This is the only way you can support the growth of this channel. For all our returning subscribers who year to year or time to time always come to support the growth of our content, thank you very much. May God continue to bless you. Thank you. Until we meet again, do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first person to be notified anytime we upload a new content. If you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe and be among the Plan B TV team. Thank you very much. Until we meet again. Peace out.
Don't forget to subscribe to get notified. And as you they share your support, now say God bless you too.
Sense on the bed.
Plan B TV, Plan B TV, Plan B TV. Oh, Plan B TV, Plan B TV, Plan B TV, Plan B TV.